Alright, what's up? How are you guys doing? New Guild Boss vid, actually first ever Guild Boss guild. I used to hate Guild Boss and I gotta be honest, the End Queen made me love Guild Boss. So I wanted to show you guys the run I got. I got 35.5 billion run. And I also wanted to show you my setup. It's a pretty basic setup, but nonetheless, I still want to share it to you guys. So this is the full team I used. We're basically gonna go over first Song Jinwoo fully, then we're gonna go over each team one by one. I think it's more methodical and it's easier to explain to you everything at once than rather just go over the whole thing like that and it's weird. First, the whole setup is Song Jinwoo, obviously, Kanae, Esil, and Jina on team 1. Team 2 is gonna be Thomas, Cha, and Gogunhee, and team 3, which is the support team basically, is gonna be Choi, Libora, and Hansemi. So Song Jinwoo, the weapons, pretty fast and easy. You want to use the book and Moonshadow. Alright, so for the sets, I have 4 Curse for Expert on Song Jinwoo. I'm gonna show you guys on the right side the stats I have on this. Basically, what I tried to have on Song Jinwoo is around 7 to 8k crit rate, because as you may know, the more rages you have on the boss, the more crit rate you need to have to actually crit. It's kind of stupid in my opinion, but that's how it works. And basically, for the rest of the stats, which are crit damage and death pen and damage increase, whether it's for Song Jinwoo or for the Hunters, I try to be around 200 crit damage, around 5 to 15 death pen, and around 30 to 40 damage increase. And then the rest, you want to put it all into the stats your Hunter or Song Jinwoo scales off. So for Song Jinwoo, it's attack, for example. Here I have 41k attack. It's a bit low, but I kind of make up for it with the other stats, so it's not that bad. For the skills, I'm using Sonic Stream Dark, obviously Magnifying Slash is the best skill in the game, and also Armor Break, Vacuum Wave, the wind one, to increase my own damage, but also the damage of my Hunters. As for the QTE, obviously the best Collapse QTE, which is Thunderstorm, insane damage, really a must have, and also the Overshadow Death QTE, which is the other one that deals the most damage. For the offensive Blessing Stone, we go with Bloodlust, Sharp Perception, Reawakening, and We Are One. And for the defensive one, you want Aggressive Defense to have always a shield, Life to have a shield early on, and also Natural Disaster to make sure you take less damage, but also, and more importantly, your Hunters take less damage. As for the cores on Song Jinwoo, only the one on the top and the bottom matter. On the top one, you want the one that gives you 5% attack, and on the bottom one, you want the one that decreases your MP consumption, the new one from Deimos. That's basically it. Let's get on to each team of Hunter now. Alright, so I went into the team formation thing, so it's easier to go over each team one by one, whether, like in the Guild Boss thing, it's kind of like too crowded. So we're gonna go over the Hunters right now. So first team, you want to have Kanae, Esil, and Jina in that order. You want Kanae to be the highest TP of your whole roster. Over the 9 Hunters, you need Kanae to be the highest TP. If you run 2 one-hit kill, 2 curse for expert, it's gonna be a bit of a problem. You might have to nerf other Hunters like I had to do. I'm gonna show you right after. But basically, you want her to have the highest TP. Those are the set I run. So Kanae, 2 curse, 2 one-hit kill for expert. Esil for greed, and Jina for guardian for Sylph. That's basically what I went with. I'm going to show you guys right now the stats I have on my Hunters. My Kanae is kind of broken. I do agree with this. My Is not looking too bad, and my Jina is decent as well. Overall, I have pretty good artifacts on everyone, except on my Libora and Gogunhee, that's kind of low. My fire team is pretty stacked. For the skills, I basically have every skill maxed. So skill 1, skill 2, core attack, basic attack, and ults are maxed on every Hunter of the roster. Like all 9, I have everything level 10. And for this team, those are the cores I'm running. So like I said, only the top and bottom ones are important. So on Kanae, I'm running the orange one that gives you crit damage whenever you ult. Since she transforms her E into an ult, that's pretty much broken every time. On the bottom one, you need the purple one to reduce your MP consumption. Otherwise, she's gonna suck that shit up. And for Esil and Jina, basically, you only need the one that gives you 5% attack on the top. The bottom one doesn't really matter. It really just depends on whatever you have. I just put whatever I had to give me stats. Last thing, make sure your Kanae is the highest crit rate of the team, so she gets the passive from Esil. The passive from Estel's weapon only works within the team. So she doesn't need to be the highest crit rate of the whole 9 hunters, but she needs to be the highest crit rate of the 3 hunters in her team. Also, the reason you want her to be the highest BP of the whole squad is because she's gonna get the buff from the set we have on Hansimi, which is Angeline White. So I'm gonna get to that later on. Team 2, which is basically the light team, is basically Thomas, Cha, and Gogun Hee. For the sets, pretty straightforward and standard. Curse and Obsidian on Thomas, Curse and Expert on Cha, and Full Grid on Gogun Hee. Your Gogun Hee being on Full Grid is gonna make him skyrocket his BP, so you will have to nerf him, like I had to. There's 2 ways to nerf him. Either you put him cores that have percentages on the main stats for attack and HP, or you're gonna have to run a level 1 core like I do, which I'm gonna show you right after. As you can see on the screen, there's already the stats showed. My Thomas is probably my weakest one in this team because his damage increase is a bit low and his crit damage could be better, but he kind of like balances out by having crazy high defense. My Chai is just out of this world and she hits like a truck, and my Gogun Hee actually has good stats for someone that's running a level 1 core. Speaking of the cores, this is what I run on them. So Thomas, obviously you want to have that full nameless set, like the full orange set basically. For Cha, you want the one that gives you 5% attack, but also the one that reduces your MP consumption. For Thomas, you could have the one that reduces your MP consumption as well. It doesn't really matter because this one does the job just fine. And yeah, for Cha, you want those two. For Gogun Hee, you want to have that orange one on the top. I think that's the best one. It doesn't really matter. On the bottom one, though, you need the one that reduces his MP consumption. Mine is level 1 and not even like upgraded, nothing, because otherwise he's just gonna skyrocket his BP so much that he's gonna go over Kanae, and I don't want that. And last but not least, we have the support team, which is basically Choi, Libora, and Hansemi. For the sets, Choi is running Curse and Obsidian. Libora is running Toughness and Expert, and Hansemi is running Angeline White and Viridescent. I will show the stats right now as the game tells me to touch some grass because it's been 3 hours. What you can see already is that there's a specificity on Libora. You need a very, very, very high crit rate, so she can crit as much as she can and apply her debuff. That's basically it, like the debuff of her weapon, right? She needs to crit to have that, so you want to have as much crit rate as you can, between 12 to 14k, and that's basically it. Hansemi, as you can see, is running Angeline White. That's why you want Kanae to be the highest TP overall, so she gets that Angeline White boost. For Choi, obviously you don't care about crit rate, so you just want as much death ban, attack, and damage increase as you can. Mine is decent, not crazy though. My Libora stats are insanely bad because obviously I had to sacrifice it for crit rate, and Hansemi's stats don't really matter. For the cores here, I pretty much just use whatever I have left, and that's why Choi is running that red one instead of like the one that gives 5% attack. If you can make him run the 5% attack, that's way better. That's all I have, so yeah, I'm sorry. He doesn't even have like a bottom one that works too, because it's light. Basically, I'm just doing that for stats. For Hansemi, you want the one that reduces the MP consumption. That's about it. For Libora, reduces MP consumption is also nice, and you want the 5% attack on the top. And for Hansemi, doesn't really matter what you put. Honestly, that last team has like my worst scores. Basically, it's still decent. Don't get me wrong, but it's obviously not the best. Before we get into the gameplay, obviously make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, I'm gonna be honest. Make sure you check out the creator program as well, get some codes, support me. Obviously, it helps me a lot grow the channel, the setup, the streaming setup, everything. So I really appreciate it. And I will now let you guys with the gameplay. And by the way, guys, I think I forgot to mention my Sung Jinwoo is running 350 intelligence, 30 perception, and the rest in strength. That's basically because you want 90% perception. I only have 6 perception gems, so that's why I needed to put a bit of points into that. And for the intelligence, yeah, you need 350 for the cooldowns. That's basically it. I'm sorry I forgot to mention it. I will let you guys with the gameplay. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You know the drill. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. See ya.
あいつは俺がやる。砕け。途絶えた。逃がすか。遅い。砕え。そこだ。やるか。 の怒り飲み込まれろ。無駄だ。
咲き誇れ一族の栄光よ。
砕け散れ。
悪魔に
切り刻んで途絶えた。
咲き誇れ一族の栄光よ。
これで終わりだ。逃がすか。
悪魔に
遅い。
咲き誇れ一族の栄光よ。
そこだ。無駄だ。これで終わりだ。こっちの番だ。遅い。逃がすか。砕け散れ。俺の邪魔を